Right. All right, we're getting started. So excellent, Todd. You must have had an amazing adventure over there, huh?
2 weeks in Europe doesn't suck. I don't know any way to say it other than that. It was a lot of fun to get away, be unplugged, and it wasn't a vacation. Like to me, a vacation is sit on the beach, drinking pina coladas. This was a trip. I mean, we were in 5 countries over 2 weeks. We did a 1 2 hour boat ride from Finland to Estonia, and then we did a overnight cruise to get to Sweden, and then Sweden to Denmark was a 5 hour train ride, and then an overnight cruise from Denmark to Norway where we finished up. But it was just it was a lot of fun. It was great to be unplugged.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like you were unplugged and at the same time you were studying a little bit, huh? Listening to your books on tape.
Yeah, because it's anytime you've got you travel with family, and now my kids are all like early 20s, mid 20s. So we had it was a lot of fun to have our daughters with us, and then for part of it, we even had my future soon to be son-in-law with us as well, which was really fun. And but I always spend a lot of time just kind of in thought and thinking, and they all sleep more than I sleep. And so yeah, I had some time to catch up on really revisit some books that I've already listened to in the past on productivity, as I'm kind of thinking about this last quarter of the year that we're almost upon us, and what that's going to look like, and just conversations I have when we do things like this.
It's crazy to think that we're halfway through Q3 already.
I know. I'm only thinking about it because we're shipping Q4 Win by Noon, I think this week or next week.
Nice. Well, my team's excited. We're coming to join you on Friday. I think you're aware of that at your office.
I am. It's on my calendar.
All right, 9 to 1. So we'll be there and huddling up, and we'll have Joe Polanin on with us remotely, but that'll be good.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I see we got some people filling in here. So we're enjoying our small talk together as you guys all filter into join us for today's event. We're super excited that you're all here.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Todd Bookspan, and my name is Brandon Barnum. We're going to get started here in just a second. And if you are in the mortgage business and looking to take your business to the next level, you're in the right place. We're going to share a ton of tips and tricks and really what's working in the industry nowadays. And, Todd, on our coaching call a moment ago, you were talking about the doom and gloom that a lot of people are facing in the industry. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are still having success. And so I'm excited to have you share kind of what's working from your perspective as you work with some of the top lenders nationwide.
Yeah, that's I'm excited to share that. And it's absolutely true. I definitely know you are not all the doom and gloomers. That's why you're here. But I do know it's a challenge for all of us that we work with some doom and gloomers potentially, and we partner with some doom and gloomers potentially. So I'm excited to share with you guys some excitement that you can potentially share with them to help get everyone move in the right direction.
All right. And if you would, go ahead and put in chat the city and state that you live in and the company that you work for. That'll help us just kind of know who's in the room and where people are dialing in from. It looks like we've got some folks from some of the names that I see, some people from both sides, the left and the East Coast. So it'll be awesome to see who's in the room. So thanks for that. And let's go ahead and kick this off. And really, we're here to help you become the #1 trusted mortgage expert in your market. There are some strategies that we're going to teach you so that you can implement them immediately after this masterclass so that you can start winning more business. And especially if you're looking to generate more business from realtors, more realtor referrals. So we're going to walk you through a number of different strategies, as I mentioned. But just to give you a quick overview of who we are, my name is Brandon Barnum. I'm the CEO of HOA.com. And for 12 years, I was a mortgage lender, so I know a thing or two about loan origination. I got into business from 97 and left in 09. And really, I got started because I was a single dad. I got custody of my 2-year-old son at the age of 24. And I was making $20,000 a year at the time before getting into the mortgage industry. And I couldn't afford the house that I had bought. I had bought a house after college and was working as a marketing director for an estate planning law firm. But when I got custody of my son, I couldn't afford my mortgage and the daycare bill. And I found that out because I kept bouncing my mortgage payments. And so I had to make a change. And fortunately for me, I got into the mortgage industry And I found a mentor, somebody that taught me the art and science of what we now call raving referrals. And so I was able to close over $500 million in transactions in the mortgage industry, totally changed my life. My income went from 20,000 a year to 200,000 a year in 18 months. So literally 10x my income, thanks to this industry that you all call home. Now, when I got out of the business in 2009, I went back to building technology. I'd started in 1997. I built kind of an early version of Zillow. I lived in Portland, Oregon, and I built the Portland Online Homebuyer Guide and featured real estate listings online, which nobody was doing. And I used that as a lure, as a give to the realtors that I wanted to win business from. So that was the secret to my success. So since that time, obviously, I have been totally focused on building technology. I want to take what I know and empower as many people as possible. My last platform was called Refer.com, and we built that to 5 million members, including 250,000 realtors. And after selling that in 2019, I really decided to build kind of a BNI power team for the real estate world. So that's what we're doing here, is a real estate ecosystem. And I'm thrilled to be able to introduce my partner in this webinar and in our company, Todd Bookspan. Todd?
Well, as always, it's a pleasure to be here and be here alongside of you, Brandon. And I see some familiar names on here who know who I am, but I also see some unfamiliar names. So for those who don't know me, I'm Todd Bookspan. I'm the creator and founder of a company called Win by Noon, but really 20 plus years in the mortgage space. And although I don't originate on a day-to-day basis, I still lead a team that's averaged over $100 million, about 400 loans a year for the last decade. And if you do the math on that, that's over $1 billion worth of loans. And I'm super proud of that, because I feel like there's so many great loan officers in the industry, and to be part of, to me, the best business in the world's been a lot of fun. Some of you may know me from co-leading the Mortgage Coach, now Trust Engine Productivity Mastermind group that I co-founded with Dave Savage, where I do, lots of Zoom interviews and whatnot in there. And that's really the knowledge, part of the knowledge that we share today. I mean, one of the things I'm really fortunate to do is to get to talk to the best and brightest in our industry. And I love to share that with other people. And I also co-founded the Modern Mortgage Summit with Dave, which has been the #1 attended mortgage event the last 4 years. Maybe we did our 5th year this year. It's hard to, it's all run together. I think it's our 4th year this year, but that's been a lot of fun as well, just because feel like we've put together a good product and added a lot of value. And that's really what today's all about, is adding value to all of you.
I love it. And I love we've got people from all over the US. I see Donna, Austin, Texas, Anita's in New York, Jennifer's in Peoria. We're here in Phoenix, Tammy in Nashville, and another Tammy in York, PA. So I know there's more of you that didn't put into the chat, but just to give you a quick shout out, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to make this worth your while and give you a ton of value over this conversation. And just so you know, kind of the net of this is, we're going to walk you through what we're doing at HOA.com. And at the end, we're going to invite you to be a member in HOA.com. So if you're looking for the big pitch, it's not really a big pitch, but we are going to invite you to be a member in our referral network. So that's how that works. It's less than $1 a day. So just so you know, kind of upfront, we're going to give you a ton of training. And then if this is a fit for you, you're going to see how you can partner with us in a big way. But what we're building here at HOA.com is a real estate ecosystem. And we say it's much like Nextdoor meets Angie's List meets Zillow, because on the Nextdoor side, we're creating community pages for every neighborhood in America. And we're selecting top trusted pros, much like Angie's List, to be those local professionals, the mortgage lender, realtor, insurance agent, painter, plumber, all the pros that homeowners need. And we've got a component that's kind of like Zillow. We'll walk you through that with a home valuation report. So that's kind of just in a nutshell, to get the commercial out of the way at the beginning. That's what we're doing here at HOA.com. But I want to hear from you guys. What is your #1 source of new clients? I've got a poll here. I'm going to launch. So in the poll there, just click on that real quick. What's working best for you? Are you doing advertising? Is that where you're getting most of your business? Or are you buying leads? Maybe you're buying leads or getting lists of leads from a title company. Or are you doing cold calls? Or are you doing social media? What is working best for you? Go ahead and answer that. We'll wrap this up in just a few seconds, and then we'll share the stats so that you guys can all see it. So 3, 2, 1, let me end that poll and share the results. So here's what you all said. There's a few of you that are using social media. 13% said social media is the #1 source of new business. And then a total of 87 between the two categories. 27% said referrals from past clients, and 60% of you said referrals from professionals. Todd, that's pretty in line with what you see nationwide, isn't it?
You know, it really is. I'm glad to see that buying leads was at 0 and advertising was at 0, because I do see a little bit of that here and there. But, you know, certainly you and I were talking about raving referrals, right? And the fact that we get people, you know, the #1 is referrals from professionals who serve homeowners. And then, you know, I really think that, especially in this market, that there's a lot of people forgetting to focus on their past clients. And I love to see that a lot of you are getting referrals from there. That's great.
Yeah, and it makes sense. So well done. You're doing what you need to be doing. Now, when you think about the realtors that you work with, what do you think their #1 biggest business challenge is for those professionals? Whoops, I clicked ahead. Well, I just gave you the answer without the question, but it's more clients. I was trying to click the poll off, but that's what happens when you're doing things live, right? So Todd, I mean, that's really what you see, isn't it? That most of the realtors that you're in conversations with are looking for clients, aren't they?
You know, they are, right? No different than most of you. You know, that's really the thing, but that's what they're always hoping for. And you know that they say, you know, they ask you, hey, why aren't you referring me more clients often, right? They forget that you have lots of realtor mouths to feed and they're just one. And so always for me, the way that I built great relationship with my realtors was helping them figure out how to add more clients.
Yeah, and that's really the key, right? If you can help them win more business, they're going to be more inclined to send you their business. And really, we've done a survey of over 2,000 professionals. And what we found is over 90% of professionals who serve homeowners say that attracting more clients is their #1 biggest business challenge. So if you can solve that, then you can help them win. And when you help them win, they'll help you win. So why don't people get more business? Well, here's what we find, and there's really 4 answers. #1, a lot of people don't promote themselves consistently. Maybe they do a social post or a direct mail piece, or they're reaching out an email newsletter every once in a while, but most people aren't great at it. What they're great at is helping people to analyze their qualifications and find the right loan program for them. But a lot of people aren't great at marketing. And also, when we look at the pros who serve homeowners, a lot of people aren't great at following up with past clients. We call it ghost mode, because I don't know about you, but you know, the last painter that came to my house, after they left, I've never heard from them again. Same thing with the person that fixed our garage doors, and pretty much every other blue-collar service provider. They go in ghost mode and they don't really follow up. And Todd, asking for referrals is another big one, isn't it?
You know, it really is. I mean, I would say that's one of the areas I always struggled, right? Was how do I do that without coming across and sounding insincere? And that's one of the things, you know, really from you, Brandon, I've even learned how to even improve that conversation.
Yeah, we teach the art of the ask in the raving referral system, but that's a conversation for another day. There is an easy way to ask people for referrals in a way that's comfortable for you and comfortable for them. And that's one of the things that we teach our members. But then also building referral partnerships. And we're going to talk a lot about referral partnerships, because as we saw, 60% of you say that's the #1 source of new clients for you. So why do referrals work? It's just the way that we're wired as human beings, right? 90% of people say they trust recommendations from people that they know. And what's fascinating is that statistically, people are 400% more likely to hire you when they're referred to you. And that's because they trust you, right? It's that trust transfer that takes place when somebody like Todd says, oh my gosh, this is amazing, you got to do it. And Todd, I think that last line, referred clients are 16% more profitable, that's really powerful, isn't it?
You know, especially for those of you who are branch managers on here, but I think every loan officer can understand that, right? There's there's definitely a difference between a well-referred client who's referred from a partners of yours who's got a great referral script about how amazing you are, and the tension that they have around rates and rate shopping. And so there's no doubt that from a price exception perspective, right, that it's an easier conversation with someone who's been highly referred into you. So I think that's truly an important statistic.
Yeah, it is, especially for your referral partners, right? You can't control your pricing as much as others can. But really, when it comes to home service professionals, that's what we support at HOA.com. We really set out to create the #1 referral network for professionals who serve homeowners, much like a BNI for professionals who serve homeowners. And when you think about your own business alliance, and especially for those that said you get your business from others, I'm sure you're getting deals from realtors, but where else are you getting leads and referrals? Who's sending you business? Are you working with insurance agents and CPAs and financial advisors? Or do you have contractors and home service pros that are out there as your champion for business? Now, Todd, I know this is one of the reasons that you and your team has done over $1 billion in originations, is you've really created a trusted team of professionals that you're doing business with, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, and think about it, is that you probably are potentially referring out some of these people beyond the financial advisor, about the insurance, but you probably have an HVAC person or a plumber or a painter that you or your realtors have referred out. But my question for you is, do they truly view you as a business partner, right? If you're in a BNI group, then they do, but not everyone wants to be in a group like that meets in that type of setting every week. And so the beauty of it is when you can come up with a way to help those folks realize that you're an important part of helping them get more clients. And then they realize that they're an important part of getting you more clients too.
Yeah, super important. And we're going to give you a gift, by the way. We have this little referral partner blueprint. We're going to give you the PDF version so that you can see it. But if you go to HOA.com/blueprint, then you can go ahead and download this. It's a PDF document that really takes you through kind of the core of what we're talking about today, so that you don't have to write everything down or remember everything. You'll have a document that guides you through this process of what to say, who to partner with, and how you really create long-term profitable partnerships. And one of the things that we see is that a lot of people go to these networking events, they meet all kinds of people, but they don't formalize their referral partnerships. Now, hopefully that's not you. Hopefully you actually have a plan, but in the referral partner blueprint, there's one page that you can print out, and you can sit down with a referral partner, and there's 21 different co-marketing campaigns, ways that you can cross-promote and build your business together. So you'll see that in the referral partner blueprint. Now, I've got another poll I want to do for you to share this. Let me launch this on screen. How many active realtor partnerships do you currently have? And when we say active, this is somebody who's referring you at least one deal every 90 days. Okay, so go ahead and answer that on the poll. How many realtors do you have that send you at least one deal every 90 days? This is really fascinating, Todd. I know when I was in the business, it took a while to get to that 10+ spot. When I first got started, I started out at 0, just like everybody else. But man, over time, you can really grow your business through partnerships. Yeah.
Tremendously. And what's interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing the poll results, but when I first got in the business, it was considered that you could make a significant income, $200,000, $300,000 a year with just 10 referral partners. And I sort of believe that that's not as easy today as it was back then. I interviewed a coach recently who said his top client last year who closed a little over 100 million, I think it was 104, 105 million. He had almost 200 referral partners that got him there. And his number 2 client had 105 people who had referred him business. And to have that many realtors in your world is a lot. And so it looks to me like we've got a handful of rock stars here at the 10+. Surprisingly, no one at 0. Good for all of you, because we definitely normally see a fairly large chunk of folks on here, in that range.
Yeah, it's absolutely. In fact, you guys are superstars. You guys are ahead of the game, which is probably why you were attracted to this masterclass and why you're taking the time to invest in yourself and in your business. When we've surveyed, again, over 2,000 professionals nationwide, you probably find it shocking, but 32% say they have zero referral partners. And, I was just up in Denver last week speaking to an audience, and we found that to be true. About a third of the audience had no referral partners at all. 47% said they have one or two. So when you add those two numbers together, that's 79% that have between 0 and 2 referral partners, meaning that if you're in that camp, unfortunately, not many of you are, but for those that are, you're out there always struggling to find new deals. And so I love the fact that we had a higher percentage of this audience that's at that 10 plus camp, because when we did our survey, that 2% that was in that 10 plus category, on average, those people are making over $250,000 a year. So that's really where you want to be and where we want to help you to get. So the good news is, in the mortgage industry, you guys make great income, right? When you do close loans, on average, according to New York Times, and this is almost a year old, it was from last September, you're earning an average of $4,350 per loan. Todd, that's kind of what you're seeing nationwide, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be a fairly good number, right? Some of you who are doing do $1 million loans all day, probably making a little bit more. Some of you who might be, in markets where you're doing, $200,000 loans, might be a little less, but definitely I think it's an accurate average.
Well, and what's cool about that is if you just do 4 deals a month, you're earning over $200,000 a year. Now, one of the things I realized when I was in the business is, at the end of that 18 months, when I got in the mortgage business and I had earned over $200,000 a year, I analyzed all of the deals that I had closed that calendar year. And what I realized is I had one partner, one realtor, that had sent me over $50,000 in closed commissions. And, even if you're just getting one deal a quarter per realtor or referral partner, that's $17,000 a year for that one relationship. And the reason that we're sharing this with you, this is how important relationships are for your business. This is how profitable, how valuable those realtors and other partnerships are for your business, because just one agent can make you a considerable amount of money. Now, Todd, I know for you, you went beyond agents and you have built referral partnerships with other types of professionals as well, haven't you?
I have, and it's interesting to me because at the very bottom of the list, there's property managers. And when I first got in the business, a friend of mine just happened to had bought a property management company. And so the first house that he sold was the first purchase that I financed, and partnered up with him and his company of all the folks that they had out, filling homes, and got referrals of 2 kinds from them. I got investor clients, the people who owned the homes. And that was great. My first year, I refinanced. People hate me when I say this, but I had one person I refinanced about 24 properties for at one time. That's a processor's nightmare. Think about that. They change one figure in one file, and they've got to go back in and change it in the 20 some odd other files. But ultimately, it was a huge boost to me that year. And then they also had homeowners, renters who were looking to get pre-qualified to become homeowners. And so I think when we talk about this whole idea of how do you build this trusted team around you is think beyond what most people consider the low-hanging fruit, the real estate agent, and think about who else do you know, who else could you maybe partner with, again, using the idea that you're building a partnership so they understand that your goal is to refer them clients, and then that your expectation is that they're going to refer you clients as well.
Yeah, and when you think about that question of how many referral partners do you have, think about how many do your realtors have. And if you can help them build their referral partnerships, if you can help give them a way that they can win more business and you're locked in as the mortgage lender, then not only are they doing more deals, but you are the one that's helping them. So when you think about who makes your best referral partners, there's really 3 things to keep in mind. Number 1 is you're kind of inventorying who you have already. It's number 1, who do you already refer clients to? Are there people that you're sending business to? And are they sending business back to you? That might be CPAs, insurance agents, maybe it's realtors, maybe it's attorneys, but formalize those partnerships so that it's reciprocal, so that both people are giving business back and forth. Number two, who is already referring clients to you? Right? If you look at who your closed loans for 2023 and maybe even 2022, where's that business coming from? And how can you invest in those relationships to win in even more business over the months and years to come? And then number three, who is it that you know, like, and trust, but you've never gone to them and said, hey, let's work together. Let's build our businesses together. That's what we teach. That's what we're passionate about, because you probably have people in your life, maybe from school, maybe family members, friends, maybe you go to church together, but you never sat down with them and said, let's do more business together. And that's part of what we teach in the Referral Partner Blueprint. There's really 4 ways that we help you win more referrals at HOA.com. Number 1, coaching. Number 2, communities. Number 3, co-marketing. And number 4, concierge. So we're going to kind of unpack this just so you understand what we do, and then you can see if it's a fit for you. But number 1, it's about coaching and training. And Todd and I lead a training class that is exclusively for mortgage lenders twice a month. And we just came off of it. Todd, that was fascinating. I learned some stuff today on our coaching call that was powerful.
You know, I just love it, right? It's a meeting, Zoom meeting style. So everyone's on, cameras on, and we're having a conversation. And, for me, as someone who coached full-time, some of the top originators in the country, and then now just does group coaching, once or twice a year for 90 days, to be able to do twice a month with our group is just, fills my bucket. And, the feedback that we get and the conversations that we have of how they're, where they're struggling and where they're having success is just amazing.
I loved hearing Donnie Strickland, one of our LOs that's a part of our program out in Las Vegas, because she started doing the work, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the last time we talked to her, she had like 18 loan applications in a month, and she was just crushing it, and she hadn't been doing that before. So we help you with the raving referral system, but then we also do these coaching calls to really help you. But the core is about community and really connecting community. As I mentioned earlier, we're creating online communities for every neighborhood in America, and really helping professionals become embedded in those local communities so they become famous in those neighborhoods. I love this quote: there's no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And that's really at the core what it is we're doing. Todd, do you want to talk about localizing marketing?
Well, I love this whole idea of hyper social local farming, right? We know that most real estate agents either farm an area or want to farm an area. And in what I love about the fact is, if you can help be the catalyst for them, help them with a tool and a structure to dig deep into their community. For me, it's been a lot of fun. I've got real estate agents that are leaders within big teams, that the team leaders actually own mortgage companies, but you know what? They're looking to me and looking to HOA.com as a solution for them to dig deeper into their community where they live. And so it's been a lot of fun to watch people use this as a great strategy.
Absolutely. And, I always have a story I love to tell. Back when I lived in Beaverton, I lived in this neighborhood called Sterling Park, and we had this one realtor that was so focused on hyper-local targeting and farming that he became what we call them the mayor of Murray Hill, because there are about 10 neighborhoods in this area of town called Murray Hill, and 2 out of every 3 for sale sign said Brian Belair's. This guy owned the market. Everybody in that area knew that if they were going to sell their house, they had to have a conversation with Brian Belair's, because that guy had all of the buyers, because he had all of the sellers. He had really targeted those markets, those communities, and as a result, he became famous and won a ton of business, was always a top producer. So, we've done something similar, and actually, I'm going to stop sharing my screen And rather than showing slides, I'm going to get into a little demo action and actually just show you a couple of things live so that you see how this is working. Let me go ahead and get out of this and actually show you some of what we're building here at HOA.com. All right. Always takes a second to get to the right spot and share my screen. Cool. Todd, I know you got some great stories about what you're doing, but this is just an example of a community page. And essentially what we're doing this is creating these for every neighborhood in America. And on these community pages, we give people the ability to search for a trusted pro. This is the Angie's List component. They can search for their neighborhoods, not only the HOAs, but the non-HOA neighborhoods as well, or they can search their home values. So this is the Nextdoor component meets Angie's List meets Zillow. On those pages, we're featuring a mortgage lender and a realtor prominently, and then also other professionals that are serving that market so that the homeowner finds the professionals that they can trust. In addition to that, we have home search. So you can literally search about 93% of all the homes for sale on MLS nationwide. We're working on a partnership right now with GAF Home Depot, which is fun, but the community pages have a lot of information about the neighborhood, including news, what's happening. And this is a homeowner maintenance guide that gets customized, and then the events that are going on so that people know, you know, this property is up in Broomfield, Colorado, that I was just taking a look at. And you can see that there's events that are happening right there in your local neighborhood. So it really gives everybody the ability to see everything. Now, one of the other things that we're showing is their Home Safe report. And the Home Safe report, some of you might use HomeBot or My Home IQ. This is kind of like that. And it gets customized from you to the homeowners that you serve, the homeowners in your database. The biggest difference, it does have a valuation report and it's automated monthly, just like your others. The difference with ours is that it also incorporates your trusted team. So while Stacy in this example is sending this out to the homeowners in her database so that they know how much their home is worth, and it's that automatic remarketing, retargeting to those homeowners, it also features her real estate agents, insurance agents, and all of the other pros that are recommended and working in that neighborhood. So the beauty is, as Stacy promotes herself, she may have 1,000 homeowners in her database. Well, normally you're only promoting yourself to those 1,000 people and that's it. But ours is a team marketing approach. So as Stacy's promoting Christopher, he's promoting Stacy to all the homeowners in his database. And that's super unique. I don't know anybody else that's doing anything like that. Todd, is that true for you?
I don't know either. And if you think about it, you know, what is the benefit to you if your realtor, your insurance agent, your financial advisor, your plumber are putting your face in front of their database? It's huge, right? I mean, the fact is all of a sudden you went from someone that you're hoping that they recommend to something that now they're actually emailing to their clients every month with your smiling face on it, your contact information on it, and then the ability for them to sign up and you know, see what else is going on.
Yeah, it's huge. And it's got all the information about real estate, right? Because we want to identify those that are looking to buy or sell so that they're emailing or calling you. And this is going directly to you, by the way. If they're coming through your email, then that is coming directly from you. This one I ran on a property down where I live in Chandler, so it's customized for Chandler. But you'll see, just like Todd said, the top, the middle, and the bottom is all customized for the lender, for you as the lender. And then when your partners are sending this to the homeowners in their database, then it's all customized to them. So it really is a powerful automated set it and forget it system. And there's just really nothing like it out there anywhere, is there, Todd?
No, not at all. And, you know, it's, you know, for me, you know, I've done a lot of coaching and training around HomeBot, and I pay over $2,000 a month still. So the fact that we're just switching over to the Home Safe report, which is different, I think is going to be awesome. And, you know, me personally, I get property from, or I get emails from HomeBot from now 6 different realtors. And ironically, some of them I don't know or do business with, but they send it to me. And so I'm getting the same thing from multiple people. And now I've got something to send out instead that's unique.
Yeah, and it's really about adding value to the people that you're doing business with and keeping yourself top of mind, right? Sending automatic messages to keep people alerted that you're there whenever they need somebody. And that way, when you have homeowners in your database, they're seeing your face every single month. When somebody they're talking to is talking about buying or selling or refinancing, we want those people to be talking about you. Another way that you can add value to them is through the concierge service. And this is part of our membership package. There's no extra cost for you, and it's totally free for the homeowners. When you've got somebody that's buying a new house, as you know, buying a house is stressful. So what we do with our concierge service is we help them with everything, from changing their address, setting up their utilities, their internet, their water, their cable, their power, getting quotes on security if they want, solar, moving, storage. We'll take care of everything for them. They'll have an assigned concierge team member that will help them from start to finish. And the beauty is it's customized for you. So you'll see it gets co-branded with your photo and your name and your phone number. So this becomes a gift from you to the homeowners that you serve. And right now here in Phoenix, we're working on a pilot with a title company that's going to be incorporating this in every transaction that they do. So this becomes a great way for you to add value to the homeowners, the people that are buying with you, and also to your realtor partners, so that you've got something to offer them to stand out from the competition and add value to everybody. Todd, you've been using a similar service before switching over. What's that done for you?
Well, one is it saved me $800 a month. So that's been good. I mean, it always helps anytime that you can do that. But for us, we started it in 2020 and we use it in the initial call as a differentiator. And we use it at that time. We were obviously doing a lot of refinances because of what rates have done. And it's something that we still use now, but we use it on that initial call. That's awesome. Hey, once you go under contract, we'll have the opportunity to get you set up with our concierge who will help you with turning on your utilities, helping you get quotes on any other repairs or anything else that you need, not just for your move, but on an ongoing basis. And it was just one of those things where it's a value add to your clients. And it's just something that I know the competition's not saying when they're calling their bank or their credit union or that big online lender.
It's huge. And the message really is, whether you decide to join HOA.com or not, find ways to add as much value as possible to all of the people that you're doing business with. And this is just a great way to do that. But ultimately, what the takeaway that we want you to learn from today is hyper-local social farming. Focusing your messaging on specific markets and areas. One of the ways that we do that is with done for you community impact campaigns. We did a March Madness giveaway where you're able to just post this and give this, and people won a free trip to Cancun. We do the best dressed home contest at Christmas. We've been booed. So all of these community impact campaigns that are turnkey for you that you can do in your local area. And Todd, do you want to tell the story that Donnie told on our coaching call last hour?
Well, and I just love it. So one of the things I want to brag about Donnie for a minute, she just started doing loans this year. So, again, it's one of these things where I tend to find that we have this curse of knowledge that we say, oh, I tried that before and it didn't work. And she doesn't have that curse. She actually came out of the operations side of doing loans. And so she's been working the system and just following the playbook. And she just partnered up. It was with 8 or 9 different partners, she said. They did a backpack drive for back to school. They gave away 46 backpacks or 47, which was, I know you wrote down the number. And I just love the fact that she got people together, not just the realtor and her, but she said they had a painter there, and they had all the different folks there who now feel like they're part of something. They feel like they're a community because they did this community impact event. And I would say 2 things. Number one is we should remove the March Madness, since my Wildcats lose every year before they get very far. And then number 2 is, certainly since I see Thomas is on here, want to thank all the veterans out there. We're a veteran-owned company. Thomas, who's your co-founder, served. And so we're just super grateful and definitely do a lot to support veterans out there as well.
We love our veterans. We are passionately patriotic and don't make any excuses for that. So we definitely do our virtual veteran salute. And I just finished reading a book, Beyond Thank You for Your Service, about all the different ways that companies can be champions for veterans. So you're going to see even more stuff as we move forward. So this is really how the program works. There's a lot involved. You can go to hoa.com/LO and complete the free application if you're interested. The way that the membership works is you can become a certified pro for just $357 per year. So it's less than $1 a day. You can go to hoa.com/LO. You'll fill out the application. And once you do that, then we'll have a conversation. We do background checks. We want to see how long people have been in the business, because if we anoint you and appoint you as a certified pro or better, then we've got to know that you've got the experience in the business. So we don't just accept anybody, but we do want quality people that are part of the network and the neighborhoods. And one of the things that we do is we license communities exclusively. What that means is, and you have the ability to be the exclusive mortgage lender in, for example, the community that you live in or the communities that your realtors farm. So we work with you to help you select the right communities for you. But once you select them, they're not available for other lenders. We choose just one mortgage lender per community, and then we help you partner with all of the other pros, the realtors, insurance agents, and so forth. We do the referral partner co-marketing campaigns like we talked about. Now, these are mostly set it and forget it. The work is going to be done on the front end to create your profile on our platform, invite your trusted team, people that you want to do more business with, and then to set those out with the community impact events. But it's really set it and forget it. And then we have the concierge service and the coaching calls that we support you with. So we're really committed to helping everybody win. And part of our go-to-market strategy is to engage all of these communities. People don't know, but there's 370,000 HOAs in the US. In fact, 53% of all homeowners live in an HOA, but many don't love their HOA. So we're on a mission to completely re-engineer and kind of disrupt and transform the HOA industry. And there's a lot of things that we're going to be doing as we roll this out that you guys are going to have access to. Todd, do you want to talk about kind of what you've done with some of the local communities here in Phoenix?
Yeah, it's my favorite story to tell. And some of you who follow me or know me know that last December, I committed, because I open my mouth sometimes on webinars like this, that I was going to do not just one day where I called 100 realtors in one day, but I did it on Zoom, unmuted, so that people could actually listen to my call. And it was a Zoom meeting, so they could all be there. And they were supposed to be dialing as well. So I did it not just once, but I did it 3 different times. And I felt like I was going to offer HOA.com in every conversation to agents, but I found out real quick I couldn't. And the reason I couldn't is because I had 100% success rate. Now, it would have been good if someone would have said no, because then it would sound more realistic to you. But ultimately, 100% of the real estate agents that I offered to partner with HOA.com said yes. And that's still true through today. In fact, since then, we've bought more communities so that we could service all the folks who want to team up with us on this. And you talked about Brian Bellairs, the mayor of Murray Hill. I've got one of the people I called. I didn't want to make it a lay down where I was calling agents who knew me and would want to do business with me. I called an agent who owns, or a partner in 5 Keller Williams office. His best friend is his lender, and I kind of viewed him as untouchable, but I wanted to push myself. And I know that he wants to be the mayor of a city called Fountain Hills. And so when I called him and asked him, hey, well, how are you doing there? Is there any specific community within Fountain Hills that you feel like you could get better penetration in? He gave me the one. And I said, well, what if I had an opportunity to help you with a framework called HOA.com, where we could go in there and we can have a tool that you can use in a framework to get better relationship with the members of the community. And he said, heck yeah, I would love to carve that out. Brandon, you call it the wedge strategy, right? So I put a wedge between him and his best friend. And I just met with him a few weeks ago before I left for Europe. And we're actually working with 6 agents on his team in 6 communities now that we're getting ready to launch. And so, to me, it's super exciting. It's one of these things that when you get the right partner and you line up with them, they're going to be super excited about it. And I would just say one other thing about that. When you talk about, well, where are you going to farm? Most of them want to farm where they live or the neighborhood that they really want to get this penetration into, where maybe someone else is viewed as the mayor of that neighborhood. And it gives them an opportunity, a different way to go in there and add value so that they can be the person who comes in and hopefully takes #1 position.
Yeah, and tell the story, Todd, if you would, about one of the community impact events that you did where you guys actually approached, or the realtor, I think, approached the HOA. Is that how that worked?
Yeah, it was great. It was a husband and wife team, and they just moved into a new build community. And they were telling me, again, doom and gloom, frustrated that a different agent who didn't live in the community had the big Facebook page that everyone was part of, and they wanted to figure out how could they come in there and be different. And so they did on April 15th, super exciting, a shred event. And I was like, oh gosh, really? That's what you want to do? But they emailed it to the HOA. The HOA is like, well, that's awesome. Nobody has ever offered to do something for our community. And so the HOA emailed out the flyer to all the residents, put it on their website. And guess what? The flyer, which #1, we didn't pay for, we didn't do anything with, it was done by the title company, had our information on there, had the realtor's information, the title company's information. It went to all of the homeowners in the community. So it was a really cool event, and we had huge HOA support.
That's awesome. And one of the things that we're doing is we're activating these communities. Is we create the systems for everything. So it's turnkey, it's plug and play for you guys to activate those communities, to connect, engage, impact, and celebrate. So we have all kinds of different campaigns and programs that we create that allow you to really build this community impact event with the realtors that you're working with, so that everybody is working together, and it makes it a ton of fun. We just launched this new one, a community treasure hunt. I can't wait. We've already got some people that are going to do this in their local communities. That's going to be a ton of fun. But you mentioned the back to school supply drive that Donnie had, and yeah, it was awesome. She said they had lawn games, Connect Four, cornhole, and the next one she said they're doing on Labor Day weekend is a weenie roast and water balloon contest. So, there's all kinds of these campaigns that you can do, and we just make it easy for you to really be that community champion and to be partnered with that community. So everyone is actually actively not only using you as their first choice, but also recommending you to their friends, their family, their clients, and their coworkers. So if you like what you hear and you're interested in taking the next step, you can apply. It's absolutely free. You go to hoa.com/LO. You'll fill out the quick form. I think it's like 6 fields or something like that. We'll work with you to select the program that works best for you. You can get started as a certified pro. It's just $357 a year. So it's less than $1 a day. And then we'll schedule a one-on-one onboarding session with you to really ensure that we support your success, that we get you set up well, that you understand how things work. We'll help you claim your top desired communities, and then you'll activate your network. We'll help you to build strong referral partnerships so that people are featuring you and promoting you to their clients and customers. We've got a quick start plan that we walk you through that's got 10 steps. So we'll guide you through all of that. And then lastly, before we open it up for questions, I want to help you understand the big picture of where we're going. Because I mentioned early on in my last company, we had 5 million members at refer.com, which has since been sold, and they're not even using that brand anymore, which is all good. But with HOA.com, we are creating the ultimate platform for homeowners nationwide. And we're already in partnerships with some of these companies. This, quite frankly, is our vision board of all the companies that we want to partner with. And you may even see one of the companies that you're working with right now on this. But I'll tell you a couple of these. We've already done a partnership with Thumbtack. So we have their 250,000 pros that are incorporated into our platform. Right now, we just did a deal. I was looking for HOA management. These guys, they just promoted us to their database of 150,000 homeowners yesterday. So we're building these alliances with national brands. You saw the partnership that we're piloting right now with Home Depot. So ultimately, this is going to be the #1 site for homeowners nationwide. And we invite you guys to come on board, be a part of it, and be the local representatives. If you're a champion for homeowners and you're looking to grow your business, this is a great place to do it. And we'd invite you to apply at hoa.com/LO. You can enter in any questions that you want in chat. Todd, anything you want to ask or offer while we're seeing what kind of questions come in?
Well, what I would say is if you're looking for something to differentiate yourself to your partners and potential partners, if you're looking to find something where there's so much done for you, ideas, and then coaching that goes along with it, then this may be a great opportunity for you. I'm always one who puts my money where my mouth is. I've signed my team up. They're a paying member. And ultimately, when I'm making these calls, I'm going after real estate agents to partner with my team. And what I love about the coaching calls is I get to share my successes on there, I would say, and failures. I just haven't had any yet. I'm sure I will at some point. I'll crash and burn at some time on it, but it just continues to blow me away and inspire me with the excitement that I'm getting with realtors who are really doom and gloom in this market, because I'm giving them strategies, I'm giving them tools, I'm giving them ideas of ways that they can grow their business, that they can partner with these different professions. I always call this a relationship platform, because that's really what you're doing, is you're helping build relationships.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep the sound off, but I'm just going to show you a video. I was just out in Destin, Florida, and this was an event that we had some realtors out there that had licensed the local areas, and they threw a networking event. They invited, that's Destin and Mary and Velia, and they invited their top referral partners to come out, right? So they invited their they partnered with the mortgage lender. They invited their insurance agents, interior designers, painters, plumbers, roofers, general contractors, and they just made it a party. And so I was grateful to be invited to come out there and meet with their local team. But this is something that you guys can do in your local market. We give you all of the tools to succeed. And what this does is it elevates your credibility and your visibility. In their case, they created luxuryhoa.com as a website address. It does look like I was tending bar, Todd. You're right.
No, it's all right. That's all good, because you're all about service, Brandon. I know that about you.
That's true. I am. So anyway, this is just a lot of fun. And the key to your success, whether you choose to join us or not, take these strategies that we're teaching you today and put them to work in your business. Create events, give people the opportunity to come together. And when you're a connector, when you're what we call a community connector, and you're uniting people, bringing people together and elevating their visibility, then they want to work with you. So that's really what I wanted to share. I want to go ahead and open it up for any questions that we have. Let's see. How many zip codes do you get for $350 a year? So we don't license zip codes. We license it by individual community. And for $357 a year, you'll choose one community that you are the mortgage expert for. So that's the Certified Pro package. Includes one community, but you get all of the other benefits along with that, including the concierge service, the home safe report, the coaching. All of that is bundled into that. Let's see, any other questions so far? One of the questions that we get quite a bit is how many communities that you can license, and it really depends on your capacity to serve, right? In the case of Todd, he's got a team. So the reason that they've been able to license dozens of communities is because they've got the capacity to support that. Todd doesn't originate himself, but he's got people that do on his team. And so that's one of the things that they do as a team, because he's got that capacity to serve. One of the questions that often comes up is about how do you select the right referral partners to invite? And again, it's really, who is it that you want to do business with? Who's already sending you business? Who do you want to double down on and win more business with? And Todd, in your case, you really went and approached some agents that you haven't been working with at all. And those are the ones you said you're batting 1,000 on so far, right?
Absolutely. And it's interesting, because that's one of the other big questions we get is, well, what communities should I pick? And for me, there was a couple of communities that I thought would be good communities to target, but to me, it wasn't about us and what we wanted to do. It was about what did the real estate agent want to do? What is the community that they're currently farming, or the community that they wish that they were farming, and allowing them to feel the ownership of that, versus me saying, hey, I got XYZ community, do you want to be my partner? And so that's been a lot of the engaging in the conversations that I've had around that, is being able to meet with them and do that. So it's been different for me, right? Got out of origination, and then this has allowed me to sort of get back in the lab and work with this business development piece, so that I can then be a better coach and leader of all the members of HOA.com.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for your leadership. I see a question from Anita saying, can the team include virtual assistants, and must they all be licensed? So you will be the licensed loan officer in that case. You would be the face. Even if you have people that are part of your team supporting you, we will only create the profile for a mortgage lender that is licensed. So it's not an unlicensed LOA, for example. They wouldn't have a profile on our site. That profile would be for you. They would be part of your team. And as you get calls, as you're building your referral partnerships, you can certainly have them call and say, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Anita John, and I just wanted to schedule a call because Anita is looking to build your business and help you grow more business together. So they can be part of your team, but they won't be the profile, the face on HOA.com. We need those to be licensed professionals. Todd, what other questions or comments do you want to share before we wrap up?
Well, I would just say, look at it as an opportunity. For me, it's just been a lot of fun, right? To add value at a time where realtor calls prior to this were like, oh, there's no inventory. Oh, I need more clients. Oh, I need to get some money. And now all of a sudden, they're super excited to hear from me and hear the success stories that I get to share with them of other people. So I can't wait to share Donnie's back to school backpack drive and say, okay, what do you think about doing something like this, and giving them ideas and inspiring them. And so my goal here today was hopefully to inspire you, right? We gave you some ideas that you can do without HOA.com to build deeper partnerships, and just know that HOA.com is a lower cost way for you to have it done for you, instead of going out there and trying to do it yourself.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, Todd and I are working on the sequel to Raving Referrals, which will be Raving Referrals for Mortgage Pros. So that's scheduled to come out in about 8 weeks, and can't wait to do that. And we're going to be featuring some success stories. So maybe if some of you come on board, we're definitely interested. If you've got a great story to tell about the impact that referrals are making on your business, then please get in touch with us, because that's going into final edits and going to go to print here in the next several weeks. Well, good. Well, hopefully we have inspired you, enlightened you. Hopefully you've got some great takeaways that you can put into place, whether you choose to join HOA.com or not. Of course, the application's free. There's no commitment. So, if you want to explore, if this resonates with you and you're like, I would love to be a part of that. Here's what I know. In 1 year, in 3 years, in 5 years, there's going to be people that are on this call that are going to be hearing about HOA.com, and they're going to be thinking one of two things. They're either going to be saying, man, I'm so glad that I took the leap and I said yes, and it has made such a difference, not only in my business, but also in my friendships. Because part of what we do is we help you to build true relationships with your referral partners and also with the community that you serve. So people know that you care and that you're making a difference. You're actually investing time and energy, a little bit of money, but mostly time and energy into the relationships with the actual communities that you live in. And then number two, there's going to be some people that say, man, I should have done that, right? Just like people back in the day said, man, I should have bought Tesla when it was at 12, right? And so we invite you to say yes. Go to HOA.com/LO, complete the loan application, sorry, not the loan application, the application to become an LO, and have a conversation with my team. They will take you through everything, answer all your questions, and we would love nothing more than to help you become the next success story that we share here at HOA.com. Todd, any parting thoughts?
As always, it's great to see friends here. So thank you all for trusting me enough to show up. And those of you who I don't know yet, look forward to meeting down the road. Just know that this is a great opportunity for those of you who feel like you're looking to partner with people in a deeper way. And you're looking to make a difference in their lives. And for me, like I said, it's been a lot of fun. I always say that there's not always fun in this business, but I've had a really great time going out there and doing this. So hopefully we'll see some of you on the other side in our next coaching session, because you've decided that this is a great opportunity for you. So, happy to answer any questions if anyone has them. Just feel free to reach out. You can typically find me on social. That's probably the easiest way.
Absolutely. And we want to help you win by noon. So with that, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. Go put this into practice, guys. If not us, go do the work. This is the work that makes you the money, is building relationships. Add value to as many people as you can, and you'll find that they are excited to hire you. So thanks for your time today. Hope this has made a difference. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.
All right. Good seeing you all.
Bye.